Hello and welcome back to the Raw Wrestling and to another edition of Raw out of 10. And yeah, big episode of Raw today because we're actually not far away from Backlash now. And of course we've got still some of the fallout from WrestleMania. We've got appearances from Becky Lynch, and of course we will find out if Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu would square off at Backlash. But we started things off with a pre-tape promo. The Usos took turns pleading their case with Roman Reigns about Fatu's challenge last week. The Tribal Chief ended it by saying he would address the Samoan Werewolf later tonight. In the arena, Seth Rollins made his way to the ring, fired up over the events of last week, wasting no time addressing Braun. Rollins took credit for putting 9 staples in the back of Breaker's head before the badass hit the ring. Rollins put over Breaker as the next big star in the industry, but called out his mind. He said, betting on himself that only got him Logan Paul, Austin Theory, steak dinners and happy endings from Paul Heyman. Breaker took exception, claiming he was on his way to being a main event star and not Rollins' health, suggesting that he couldn't handle the weight of the title anymore. The back and forth exchange concluded with a visionary laying down a challenge for a match. Rollins was fired up here, spoke with intensity, and I think Breaker did too. And I think it created a really hot promo. I think we're going to get a decent match between these two. Moving on into All You Go from Page, you watched from ringside as the IC champ Penta battled Rusev in a non-title match. The Bulgarian group dominated into the break, but Penta sparked a comeback that saw him fight his way back in the ring and down Rusev for a near fall. While he was not able to keep the heel down immediately, Penta ultimately scored the victory and to find himself on the receiving end of a 2-1 beatdown from Rusev and Page. Javon made the save, fighting off Page, then delivering an AG cutter before standing tall to close the segment out. Overall, yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. There wasn't much to this, with the majority of that taking place behind the break. Evans is a young performer, he's got the new energy, and I think all the signs are pointing towards that fatal 4-way match, which I think will be really fun if we get out of Backlash. As we then moved on to Becky Lynch returning to Raw to discuss her title win, telling the fans that while she was walking up the ramp with her daughter at WrestleMania, she knew she had to show her what being a real champion is about. She issued an open challenge for a match which Io Sky accepted to a thunderous ovation. Lynch laughed it off, equating the genius of the Sky to Marty Jannetty to Rhea Ripley's Shawn Michaels. Sky knocked her down before Adam Pearce appeared and made the match official. Big time Beck's got in a cheap shot before entering the break. I mean, yeah, it's one way to move away from the Kyrie stuff, isn't it? But Lynch is a good heel, and it led to a really fun match as Lynch controlled the action coming out of the break, dictating the pace and keeping her rival grounded. A missile drop kick from the challenger changed that as Sky built momentum and had the crowd on their feet for a comeback. She delivered a sunset flip bomb on the floor that drove the air out of the champ ahead of the break. Back from the timeout, the fans were chanting, "This is awesome." Sky responded with 180 DDT to Lynch. She tried to over the moonsault, but Lynch got her boots up. A manhandle slam followed before the babyface kicked out at 2. After Sky delivered a springboard moonsault to the floor, Oscar arrived on the scene, causing her former teammate Lynch retained following a manhandle slam. Afterwards, the Empress of Tomorrow trapped her rival in the Oscar lock to close things out. And yeah, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. This is a fantastic match. It belonged on a PLE card, to be honest. Sky v Oscar is a hot feud and should have its place on Backlash, but it will be lost without Kyrie. But yeah, on the whole, I thought this match alone was really fantastic, and I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Joe Hendry then greeted the WWE Universe with his first concert as a Raw superstar. He announced he's officially joined the Red Band and got to the point of his song calling for Logan Paul to be fired. The Maverick took exception, joined by his Vision teammate Austin Theory, and cut a ranting promo. The heels eventually beat down Hendry, enjoying a 2-on-1 beating until the Street Profits made the save, clearing the ring of the heels. Hendry wiped out Paul, and Theory joined the prospective tag team #1 contenders in closing out the segment. Hendry flashed the same charm that's got him over in every brand, so yeah, no reason why it won't work. It did come across as maybe slightly forced, but I think Logan Paul there could be interesting with the Street Profits as well. Sets up a Raw Tag Team title feud. I don't know, I think it could work as a first feud. We'll have to see though. Moving on into Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. El Grande expressed his desire to test himself as the greatest luchador of all time in a Master v Master match against the OG in AAA. The luchador faced Rey in singles competition. A back and forth battle escalated until Americano attempted to utilise a piece of metal in his mask, only for the OG to intervene, presenting the cheating, setting up a Mysterio victory. After the match, a brawl broke out, and we found out that we'll get the match between the two of them at the 30th of May. The lack of creative image synergy between the two brands really is astonishing. I mean, like, some places they're faces, some places they're heels, etc, etc. Just didn't really work, and to be honest, I think Mysterio worked okay here, but I'm kind of hoping for the end of the El Grande stuff soon. As we then moved on to the products of a backstage confrontation, Obafemi battling Grayson Waller. It went about as well as you would expect for the Aussie. He was physically dominated and beaten down. Femi pinned him in short order to secure the win. After the match, the ruler announced Obafemi's open challenge, but warned that anyone who stepped to him would face his wrath. Yeah, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, let him beat people up, but eventually he's going to get more creative direction. I think that open challenge that he's proposing to do could be a decent idea. So yeah, this was good stuff, and we love to see Femi kill people. Before we get, it's got Bailey and Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. After several moments of the Judgment Day dominating action, Bailey dropped Rodriguez and created separation, allowing her tag to Valkyria into the match. Before the Women's IC champ took the fight to Perez to dismay the crowd, the Prodigy fought back, but the role model escaped the Pop Rock's attempt to deliver the Bailey's belly for a 2. Moments later, Liv interjected herself into the match when drawing Bailey's attention. When the role model got physical, Morgan dropped down, sending the babyface into the top right. Perez capitalised, delivering a Shining Wizard and Pop Rocks for the W. Over 1 minute 6 out of 10, a high energy tag match that showcased talent involved. Morgan involving herself in the finish serves as an insult to the women's champion. I think it will obviously lead to probably a feud between her and Perez. So yeah, makes sense. As we then got Roman Reigns wrapping up the show with an in-ring answer to Jacob Fatu's challenge from last week. But before we could, he talked about single-handedly elevating the title. This brought out his cousin. And Roman told Fatu that he hoped make the right choice to unite the family rather than tear it apart. The prospective number 1 contender accused Reigns of being in his own bubble and said that when his life is falling apart, it was so that he reached out to him. The world champ cut him off, calling him unhinged, and Fatu proved him right. He attacked Reigns with a mandible claw, then performed the Tobin death grip, leaving the tribal chief roofing. Reigns told Fatu that he would love to see him at Backlash. The new challenger said he would see the title hold next week on Raw. Reigns is so over as a babyface at this point. If this wasn't officially a heel turn for Fatu, the creative team may want to consider that one. With that said, Fatu's story is fantastic, and I think their match is going to be an interesting one. The crowd will be behind Reigns, but I think Fatu is going to get a massive ruffle off of it as well. So yeah, it's going to be good stuff. Overall, gets an 8 out of 10 from me. A strong episode, good in-ring work, some quality storyline advancements, a red hot performance from Roxanne Perez at home, and an exclamation point of a segment between Reigns and Fatu to set the stage for a Backlash PLE. That has the potential to be one of the sleep hits of the year. So yeah, a very good show for me, and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, I think. Yeah, high grade.
That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.